Let's talk about, okay, I got a couple groups here. Let's talk about Tinder. Tinder's the big one. Tinder is the flagship dating app. It's like when you think of dating app, it's the big one that comes up. Is it good? Is it bad? Should you use it? And specifically as an LGBTQ or trans or non-binary or anything, you know, should I use this app? Is it worth my time? A big thing about dating apps and a thing that I've found when using them is it's like how much response do I get? Because if I get a lot of response, I'm more likely to use it. Do I like the interface? Do I like it aesthetically? Do I find like do I like it? Is it pleasant? Is it a good interface? Do I like it? Is it pleasant? Three, do I like using the app? Is the way the dating app is built, is it good or is it stupid or is it actually enjoyable to use? And sometimes the interface and that go together. And then four, is it just what kind of people are on here? Or how many people are on here, you know? Or what kind, like diversity, what kind of diverse ranges of gender and sexuality are on this platform? Tinder, I have found, is very straight. Tinder is very straight. Here's my problem with Tinder. Tinder is a game. And that's one of the big things I found about dating apps. You got to be careful when you're using these apps because if you get into that mindset and you're using a lot of apps at once, it will start to feel like a game. And when you start to see results, progress, it begins to really feel like a game. That's the danger of dating apps is like I find is like the addiction part of it. It's like, okay, are you using this to actually like for a reasonable reason to find connection and do all this shit? Or are you using it to do the swiping game? Getting that feedback and then somebody likes me, I won, oh I got somebody, I got a person like me. It's like, what are you using it for? And just being conscious of that when you go on to use that. It's like, okay, am I using this app because I'm actually looking for people to date, or am I using this to play the game, to play the swiping dating results based, I got a like, I got people liked me, blah 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 kind of thing, which I definitely noticed I was doing. So that's why I'm aware of it. And I'm aware of it now. So if I remember I was ever in that mindset, I kind of just step back. I'm like, whoa, and then I don't do it. Or I'm like, I'll stay off Tinder. My issue with Tinder is the matching system. It feels really good to get a match, and there's a lot of people on fucking Tinder. There's a lot of people on Tinder. Everyone's using Tinder. Tinder's like an app that I feel like everyone has. Like everyone has Tinder and then maybe more, but like everyone's got Tinder. Very straight, as I said, if you are LGBTQ, it's not the best place. There is a community on there. It's just not the focus. It's like you're a guest. It's like this is a straight person app, and you're a guest. That's kind of how it feels, which is kind of sad to say because you think it'd be cool to build it like super inclusive, but they have like separate apps, but they're just not. I don't like the swiping left and right, at least on Tinder. Here's my problem because it's like on every dating app, it's like like, dislike. That's completely fine. The problem with Tinder is it's swipe left, swipe right. First photo, you've got one shot. If it's like, and it's like most people are only looking at the first image and they're just going, and it's like, that initial photo, that initial impression is whether or not you even get a match or not, is that first photo, not even your bio, nothing about you. And so even if like, let's say you get a match, let's say, okay, I'm just gonna give my example as like an LGBTQ trans person going onto Tinder. The problem I have with it is if somebody swipes on you and then you like match with them and then they find out and maybe they're not into LGBTQ or trans, maybe that's not their thing, right? And then they find out and they're like, but it's if it was like Hinge, like a good dating app, Tinder's a matching app, not a dating app. It is a hookup and match app. That is what Tinder feels like. Hinge is a dating and finding people app. Tinder is a hookup and match app. You're looking to match with somebody. It's not, because if it was people focused, because there's so much feedback and you're going through so many people, it's just left, right, I like, I don't like, don't like, ugly, go. It's such a bad mindset. You're just judging someone based on an initial photo that you don't read the rest of your profile. You don't like learn about the person. It's all face. It's literally face card. Tinder is just the face card dating app. You heard it here first, folks. Tinder is just the face card. It's like, and like not even like, it's like this specific photo of your face card. I like this? Do I not? Blah, 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 blah. It's kind of stupid. So in my opinion, the the very shallow way of finding somebody on Tinder. It's very hookup-y. It's very match-based and not like, at least initially, like based on like shared interests or personality, or it's just, oh, do I like this specific photo of this person's face? Yes or no. If no, I swipe right. If yes, I swipe left. I don't even know if that's right, but that's how it feels. Tinder is like a bad boyfriend. I've deleted and re-downloaded the app multiple times because here's the problem with Tinder. Tinder is the basic. It's like the middle ground dating app because it's very just what it does. It's not, some of the apps have more like niche like designations or specifications where it's like, okay, this is what it's for, this is what it feels like. Tinder is very like, when you use it, you feel like you're doing something, and there's a lot you can do, and it's like, oh, I can go swipe through like a ton of people right now, and you can have sort it by categories, and you can go in different sexualities, and you can go sort by like what your like relation type you're looking for. So it's very like, when you're using it, you feel like you have some control, and it's like you're going through so many people, you're like, I'm bound to get something. It's like playing a slot machine. It's like playing the slots, or like Pachinko. It's a gambling game. Tinder is a gambling game. It's a gambling game with how hot is this specific photo of me. And it's kind of baloney. So I don't like Tinder. There is good people on it. And one of the things I'm going to talk about each dating app is the premium version. Is it worth it? And because I've purchased most of the premium versions for each of these apps at least once, because to me it was worth it to, one, try, and two, I wanted to try it, and two, I wanted to buy it. Because for me it was like, okay, I get all these cool features, or I get to see who likes me. And I just have to pay $15 one time. I'm only going to use this for like a week and then delete it. I just want to see who likes me right now. So for me, I tried a couple of those. But that's Tinder. The match-based hookup, I'll talk a little bit about the hookup culture. I don't know. It's just the most middle app. It's literally in the dead middle. It's the most C dating app ever. It's like you delete it and you re-download it because it's like some stuff's worse than it, but then there's stuff that's better than it. Like a bad boyfriend. So that's Tinder. Okay. On to the next one.